Good day, everyone. I am Denise Chan, your lecturer for today. Let's have a recap of the first group's lecture. They have discussed about the first part of the financial plan, which includes first the rationale of the plan, which briefly discusses the nature of the problem of the entity and enumerates the financial objectives addressing the problems. Second is the methodology, which discusses the methods used in gathering data and um, creating the whole financial plan. Third is the profile of the entity, which identifies briefly all the information about the entity. Lastly is the survey of the market and industry, which discusses about the market market environment of the entity and its position in the market. So as a continuation, I will discuss about the analysis of the external environment. At the end of the discussion, the students are expected to learn the analyzation of the external environment of an entity, and lastly is to identify thoroughly the opportunities and threats that are present in an entity. Analysis of the external environment's main goal is to identify the opportunities and threats which exist in an entity's environment to be able to improve its profitability, growth, and volatility. In determining the opportunities and threats of an entity, it includes examining the societal environment, systems environment, and the task environment. In societal environment, it includes the economic, technological, sociocultural, and natural environment. In the systems environment, this is the observation of the systems that affects the entity. Lastly is the task environment, which is examined since it affects the entity's ability to reach its goals. Therefore, external environment, where the entity has no control, has a direct or indirect effect to the firm's action and response. According to Dr. Castro, this section is presented in bullet form containing at least 5 statements in each analysis. Moving on, opportunities. These are external factors which can be used by the entities to achieve better market and financial results to improve the situation of the entity. These are factors that can change unexpectedly without any relations to the entity's activities. Um, this must be acted on if the entity really wants to capitalize from it. Also, opportunities and strengths should be clearly distinguished from one another. According to Dr. Castro, there are situations that may be advantageous for one entity, however, unfavorable to another. Example of this is a weaker peso, which is an advantage for the OFW family members who remit money in the Philippines. And however, it is a disadvantage for the Filipino consumers because basic commodities like crude oil becomes more expensive. Next is the threats. The threats are external factors which reduce market opportunities or negatively affect the profitability. The risk of threats must also be clearly distinguished from the weaknesses of the entity. Since threats are negative in nature, environment should be closely monitored by the entities to be able to properly react to any signs of threats and take any preventive measures. Also, according to Dr. Castro, there are these situations that may be advantageous to one entity. However, for another entity, it has a negative impact, just like what I have mentioned in the opportunities. To sum it all up, analyzing the external environment of an entity is essential in determining the opportunities and threats of an entity that exist around it, to appropriately adjust its strategies to keep the entity ahead in the competitions since there are rapid changes in the environment of the entity that either positively or negatively affects it. It is also necessary for ensuring the entity's growth and profitability since it is one of the keys for its survival. These are all the references that I used in preparing for this lecture. Thank you very much.